going to start out with a familiar song. I think you all know. Well, if you don't, it's a good time to learn. It's got a great song, great lyrics.
Good morning. Welcome to the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living. We've been expecting you. Thank you for not disappointing us. Let's hear it for Dave. We are so blessed. How long have you been with us, Dave? 30, 40?
One day.
Yeah, let's just say Dave has been here a long time. And we are so grateful and we are so blessed. And thank you for waking up this morning and braving the elements to get yourself here. We've been expecting you. Thank you for not disappointing us. And we're going to start with what we start every Sunday morning with, which is, come on, you guys have done this before. Come on, guys. Our vision, mission statement, and it's up on the screens behind me, and it says, we are an open, loving, spiritual community dedicated to evolving consciousness through teaching spiritual principles. And I have some announcements this morning. So the announcements for the new year have gotten much less because, you know, Christmas is always a great time to have a bunch of announcements. First off, name badges. We have new phases in our center, and we have set the intention to have more new people in our home. So we're just asking people to wear their name badges. I'm asking people to wear them because I'm learning new names. And there's nothing like saying, hi, how are you? What's your name again? So let's all wear our name badges so we all know who we are. And here I'm not wearing mine, so I'm guilty first off. I'm Reverend Steve. Hi. And we're glad you're here. And we know you have a lot of places you could be Sunday morning, but you found yourself here. We're glad that you did. Classes, workshops, groups. Our foundations class started this last Friday. And if you still want to enroll in that class, it's Fridays from 1 to 4. And it's $55, which is a $200 discount, so that people can learn about the foundations of our teaching. And as well, get to know people. There's no better way to get to know people than by taking a class here. So if you want to show up on Friday at 1 o'clock, you do have to have a Science on Mind textbook, but we'll get it all squared away. Just show up at 1 o'clock on Friday, and it's about a 3-hour class, and it's 10 weeks, and hope you can make it. New meditation group. Our practitioners are offering a 15-minute meditation every Sunday morning before the service. This is a time to go into silence and meditate together, and it will be from 9:50 to 10:05. Please join our practitioners in prayer. And our metaphysical book study group is Sunday mornings from 9 to 9:45. Right back here in the conference room, we are studying Living the Science of Mind. So from 9 to 9:45, come over here, study that book, and then run over to the meditation from 9:50 to 10:05, and then run over here to catch our service. And you're never bored here. Okay, after service today, we have a crystal singing bowl sound bath meditation over in the LEC with Sam. Wave your hand, Sam. And the class, it is full, so you can't get in. So because so many people want this thing, but she is going to be offering it on an ongoing basis. So it's just something to consider. It's where you go into a meditative state. And she has these beautiful crystal bowls that while in meditation, she gives you an energetic that is very meditative, very cool. It could take you to other astral planes of existence. And I encourage you to sign up for her next one, but today's is full. And please stand as Dave leads us as we sing, "We Are One."
And
Good morning. I'm Bucky Dennerline and one of your practitioners here at the Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living, and I welcome you as we read our gratitude together. How thankful I am to embrace the one life that is everywhere present, and so it is. And so it is. Good morning. Good morning. I'm very blessed to be here with you today, and Deborah Perdue is with me on the back table at the practitioner table, holding the high watch for our service today, knowing that the greatest good is certainly flowing in through and as each one of us in this service today. Deborah also is available after the service to take your prayer requests and match you up with a licensed practitioner who would pray with you for a few minutes after the service. And also, you can submit a prayer request by filling out the little pieces of paper if you prefer to do that. They're in the back of your seat pockets. Or if you're out there in Zoom land and you want to do it on the internet, we have the form on our website. So please, please take advantage of the fact that us licensed practitioners are here for you. We are the healing arm of our center, and we are here to serve you. We're trained in the study of the science of mind and in the art, science, and skill of affirmative prayer. No begging or pleading in this joint. All right, so we are licensed to practice professionally, and that is just another layer of confidentiality that you can be assured that you will have in bringing your prayer request to a licensed practitioner here or anywhere in our entire system. So we respect your privacy in our high code of ethics, and we look forward to praying with and for you. The practitioners will take your request and pray on it. The whole crew of us will. And if you are one of the practitioners available for prayer today, would you please raise your hand so we can see Deborah and Tracia and myself all available today. So let's pray it up. It can be something to celebrate as well as something we want to change. So please let us pray with you. Is there anybody here for the first time? I think I see a couple of faces. There we go. Got a couple of faces here. Thank you. Reverend Steve is going to bring you a little welcome package, our gift to you. Thank you for being with us today. It's great. If you haven't turned off your cell phone, please do so now. And now we can pray together the prayer that's up on the screen. All is love and all is law. I consciously bring this wisdom and knowing into my heart to shine my light ever brighter and brighter. And so it is. Let us remain seated and sing our affirmative prayer of I am loved. G is what came up for me this morning. It's a new year. G was the letter. It was the sound. It was the expression. G-E-E type of G. Gosh, and as I sat there and reflected, I just saw a pattern emerge. I don't know about you, but there are 3 words that came up for me today, and I invite you to take the challenge to sit in the silence and see what comes up for you too. With G, the very first thing that materialized out of that sensation and that feeling and that sound was glory. Now, glory is not a word that I commonly associate with my faith, my approach to life. But I looked it up and it says praise, tribute, adoration, take great pleasure in, revel in, and relish. And I loved all those. I was thinking, that's a thing I think I really want to hold on to in this new year. What are you relishing? What are you praising? What do you want to adore in this new year? What do you want to adore? The second word that came up was guidance. Ideas, intelligence, inspiration. What will you do to get inspired? I asked myself, and I ask you now. You know, sometimes it kind of takes a little bit of prodding. It takes a little bit of spice and sauce to put on the bland old meal that we might think we have to eat day after day, right? So I thought, what is it I am ready to receive? What divine guidance do I have coming in? Am I paying attention? Am I paying attention? I invite you to pay attention with me. The last word of G that came up for me was, of course, gratitude. Thank you, Deborah Perdue. We love the attitude of gratitude. Thankful, recognition, seeing the good in all, appreciation. Wow. Do I do that very often? Do I do that well? How do you live and how do I live in gratitude? I mean, stuff happens in this world, right? But what actions reflect and magnify our gratitude? Will you give more of yourself this year? I ask myself, and I ask you. Will I give more of my time, my talent, my money, and my heart to those things, those people, those energies that feed my soul? So as I enter this new year, I invite you to go with me to choose a renewed outlook that encompasses G. Gee whiz. So let us go into the silence in prayer. I believe divine intelligence, which is the mind of God, is guiding, guarding, and directing my thoughts and actions. I believe God already knows the answer to my prayers. Therefore, I let go of the problems and I am listening to the answer as though it were sure. The answer to how to live my fullest in the new year exists in the mind of God and is revealed to my mind now. Something in me does know what to do. I joyfully accept its guidance. I am open to new ideas, new hopes, and new aspirations. This, which so recently seemed a problem, no longer exists. For the mind of God, which knows the answer, is quite flowing through my thought and feeling. Great peace and joy come over me as I accept this answer from the giver of all life. And so it is. So it is. So it is. Well. Let's have some special music for Dave. And then followed by Reverend Steve's message.
You know, folks, I want to wish everyone a happy new year. And it's not every time that I share my New Year's resolution with everybody, but I think I got one this year. And it's not eat more avocado. That was last year.
Add some out.
My New Year's resolution is to spread a little love in 23. Yeah, nice and simple. Spread a little love in 23. Let's be what we're meant to be. Spread a little love in 23. Let's get started now today. Upward on our way. Let's be who we really are. Seek and find our inner star. Let's go forward in the light. Faces shining bright. Smile at the people you meet. Don't you know we're together for life? Hold out a hand, just understand. Forget about trouble and strife. Give everybody a grin. Spread a little love in 23. There's no need to walk around with your chin on the ground. It's easier to smile than to make up a frown. For a happy thing for your face to see. Joy looking back at you. Let's try that one again. I like that one. Smile at the people you meet. Don't you know we're together alive? Hold out a hand, just understand. Forget about trouble and strife. Give everybody a grin. Spread a little love around. Ain't no need to walk around with your chin on the ground. It's easier to smile than to make up a frown. What a happy thing for your face to see. Joy looking back at you. Joy looking back at you. Joy looking back at you. Take a little love and pass it on. Take a little love and pass it on. And before you know it, the world will start to show it. Take a little love and pass it on. Take a little joy and pass it on. Take a little joy and pass it on. And before you know it, the world will start to show it. Take a little joy and pass it on. Spread a
Wow. Dave is on a roll here, isn't he? Let's hear it for Dave. Well, good morning.
Good morning.
We are in a new year. Remember what we did last week? There was a labyrinth here, and we did all sorts of processes together like this. Remember this? For those of you who weren't here, we have these up here, these little packages, and they are the red sheet. You fill out everything you want to release, and you fold it up and you put it in the bowl. And I had a little ceremony in my house where they all got burned. They all went up. I saw all the stuff just going up my chimney. And then you take this little letter and you write a letter to yourself for the new year of everything you want to have happen. And then you put it in this envelope and you address it to yourself. You fold it up and put it back in this box up here. And for the whole year, I pray every day on your letter of what you want to have happen. And then at the end of the year, come 2024, I put a stamp on them, and I throw them in the mail, and they come back to you, and you go, I don't remember writing myself a letter. And you open it and you go, look at all the stuff that I had manifest because I wrote it down. See, we're not just a thinking church, we're a doing church. We do stuff here. So I invite you to come and get one of these, and you can take, a couple weeks and fill this out if you need time. We're doing it the whole month. So, and if you're online, there are links to filling out your own form online. Just send it in to me and I will pray over it for the year and mail it back to you. So if you missed last week, you didn't miss out. You missed out on the labyrinth walk, but we'll do that again come the next solstice. So today, our theme for this month is root and reboot. You ever had a challenge with your phone or computer and it's just not working right? And then you call somebody and they go, have you tried turning it off? And you're like, let me call you right back. All of a sudden, everything gets restored. Well, that's what we do at the beginning of the year. We reboot. And one of the things you have to know is that your phone has to be hooked up to a provider, right? If you're not hooked up to Source Energy, your phone is a paperweight. Oh, you can do stuff, but you're not hooked up to the allness of life that is. So today's talk is the universal voice. You know what that universal voice is? Your voice. You are the universal voice. So be aware of what you speak. Be aware of what you say, because if what you say is what you bring about, would you edit what you think about? Just be very careful. We begin this year with an examination of the fundamental principles of science of mind. These ideas are heavily informed by the companion book to the Science of Mind textbook, Living the Science of Mind. That's what we're studying from 9 to 9:45 on Sunday mornings. This month, we focus on the power of this teaching, and this is why I start our foundational class in January when we're starting all of this stuff. And basically, this is our Science of Mind textbook. This is the fancy version. This is the one that's dressed up to look like a Bible. You know, it's got the leather bound and the gold leaf. But the first 4 chapters of the textbook are basically all you need. And the first 4 chapters are like what it does, how to use it, are this much. This much is the first 4 chapters. It's the thing itself, the way it works, what it does, and how to use it. The rest of the textbook is describing these first 4 chapters. So if you can read that much, up to page 63, you got a good start. But I encourage you to start and you may not stop. So we have an emphasis on truth, that we are not only spirit, but we are the very essence of spirit itself. We're not only involved in spirit, but we are the very spirit of the life of God itself. As we begin to remember our divine essence, and I think that if you're in this room, you are on the road to remembering your divine essence. You didn't just happen into this church, did you? You're just walking down the street, saw the sign that said home and said, oh, I'm home. I'm going to stumble in here and check it out. Okay, maybe you did. We begin taking personal responsibility for our actions. I know personal responsibility can be tough. One of the first times I read the textbook and it said that all of my challenges are my fault, I threw the textbook across the room. I said, you don't know me. You don't know what I've been through. And then I picked it up and kept reading. And it said that if you can take responsibility for your challenges, you can also take responsibility for your triumphs. And I liked that part. When we take personal responsibility, we begin to deepen our practice for the benefit of enriching the whole of humanity, this earth's creatures, and the earth itself. See, everything is interconnected. You can't do one thing and think that it's not going to affect anybody. It affects everybody because there's truly only one of us here. And it is source energy, God, Christ consciousness. You can give it whatever name you want, but it's the energy that created you. You are that energy. And you didn't just show up to have a job and a family and a career. You came to live big. You came to do it right. Well, at least we came in with that idea, right? We may have made some mistakes. So as God is, so are we. This is one of the fundamental truths of our teaching. Each one of us is divinely connected to source energy. We are not only connected to it, but we are it. If you have a cherry pie and you take a slice out of the cherry pie, what is the slice? Still cherry pie. Even the cherry pie without the slice is still cherry pie. You can't change it, but you can enjoy it. And you are here to enjoy your cherry pie. Each one of us is divinely connected to that one source. And our goal then is to realize not only our own individual power, but to see the work we do in concert with that power as all of us together. Everyone is part of this. Now, there are some that may have forgotten. There are some who choose to not remember this, and that's okay. They'll get it at some point. But everybody has their own awakening experience, and you are in the middle of yours. And you're more than in the middle. You're living your experience. If you have stumbled into this teaching, you have followed an inner direction. And if you have stayed, you are on your path. See, the science of mind tells us to not only live in conscious awareness of the law of cause and effect, as we think, so we experience, but also to live in alignment with that preeminent truth that all is love. All is love. How can you say that? What about the murderer? What about those people on the other side of the aisle in our political atmosphere? What about those people who intentionally get in my way when I'm in a hurry on the freeway? Yeah, they're all part of it too. They just may not know it yet. See, my screen went to sleep because I talk too much. But it is that God itself that is love that keeps you going. You know, the scientists looked into the atom to find out what makes it an atom. And they found out that it's the love of being an atom. It loves doing that. The God consciousness loves doing that. It is love that keeps things going. And when we can be that love in form in our own life, we're on the right track. On the Science of Mind textbook on page 26, paragraph 2, it says, the great love of the universe must be one with the great law of its own being. And we approach love through the law. This then is the teaching, love and law. As the love of God is perfect, so the law of God is also perfect. We must understand both. Again, that's Science of Mind, page 26. So, love and law. Love points the way, and law makes the way possible. So you, individualized, have certain things that you love. Maybe you love playing music. I love playing music. Some others. You know, if you can't play an instrument, you can play the stereo. Huh? Huh? You like playing the volume knob, maybe some treble and bass? But we have things that we love in our life, and everybody has something different that they love. I know Chip loves to play the guitar and the piano and the horn, and probably all sorts of stuff. I like playing bass. I can play some guitar, but I'm a bass player. Let's get real. But you have something that you love to do. Maybe you love sleeping in. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. Just don't oversleep, right? But everybody has their own idea of what they love. And the law is the way that we express that love. You have within you the love of the very universe that created you. If it weren't so, you would have burned out a long time ago. You wouldn't be here, because it is the very love of the universe that keeps us going. Dr. Ernest Holmes said that everyone is a potential Christ when we act the part. When we're not acting the part, we may be other things in life. And everyone has their own God power within them. Reminding ourselves of that power of our faith remains critical to our ongoing growth and development. Dr. Holmes maintained that we are an open at the top teaching. What does that mean? It means when we say the sky's the limit, that's a lie. The sky is not the limit. There is no limit to your thinking. You can think whatever you want. You can think positive, or you can think negative. It's up to you. But if energy flows where our attention goes, and that's a scientific proven fact, then if we're thinking about what we don't want, and we're thinking that we want things to change, but we're always thinking about what we don't want, you are demonstrating the law perfectly by getting what you're thinking about. So we need to change our thinking. What does your challenge look like healed? What is the exact opposite of the challenge? What's the solution? Maybe you don't know. You're like, if I knew the solution, it wouldn't be a problem. But can you imagine that there is a solution? Just the idea of imagining that there is a solution puts a little bit of a wedge in between the negativity, and you start flowing in a positive direction. That's all it takes. In other words, his hope for this teaching, Dr. Holmes, is to evolve and to grow. That's why it is open at the top. By rooting ourselves in the foundations of spiritual laws of this teaching, we begin to understand life itself in a whole new way. We have an opportunity to apply these truth teachings to our lives as we live them today, bringing ourselves into alignment with our own personal truth. What's your personal truth? You zoomies. What's your personal truth? What is true for you? And it may not be true for others. It's your own personal truth. Why are you here? I have no idea, but I like being here. You know, we all came in with a reason, something that we want to accomplish. And you're in the midst of accomplishing it, even if you don't know it. Which leads me to my 3 talking points. First off, the universal voice calls to all of us equally. All are called, but few answer the call. All of us are called. You ever have that call and you hit the snooze button or you let it go to voicemail because you didn't want to deal with it? Yeah, we've all done that. But there comes a point when you have run from the call for so long that it catches up with you and you go, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure it out. And at that moment, the universe conspires with you to solve your challenge. God is not just an idea. God is the very venue in which we live. Just like a fish in water is swimming around saying, where's the water? You know, we live in love and we keep going, I want someone that can love me. I want to be loved. I so want to be loved. Well, you have to love to experience that love. If you want a friend, be a friend. When we open our minds and hearts to it, all of a sudden new information gets to be exposed to us. A new contact is made. A new person shows up in our life. A new check comes in the mail that we weren't expecting. Someone contacts you that you haven't heard from for a long time and eases your soul. We begin to recognize this truth in ourselves, that we are all the love of God made manifest, each one of us. That is the universal voice. It is who and what we are. You cannot never be love. No matter how negative you get, you live in love. Now you can choose to be negative, as there are people who choose that. But eventually love catches up to all of us. Our goal then is to see the world as one expression of the divine love. Like a moving, living, breathing kaleidoscope of color. Constantly love showing up. And we are all connected to this single one source. You know, we all probably have different cell services, but there's only one source. There's only one power, and it is who and what you are. Secondly, Holmes says that everyone is a Christ in potential. But our power is only activated when we act the part. Everyone has the inherent God power within them. And when we see ourselves as a Christ in potential, we are being invited into a new realm of consciousness that is open at the top. Are you open at the top? Or if you put a lid on it and said, no, I've had enough metaphysical teaching, I'm good. Couldn't possibly have any more good flow into my life. And then you're wondering why you're not having new wonderful experiences. Everyone has that God power within them. This awareness moves us out of the traditional roles of the hero or the villain or the victim and into the world where we see each other as creators, collaborators, and we begin to assist each other. We begin to activate the spirit within us, co-creating a world that works for everyone. And thirdly, in his essay, Dr. Holmes, the essay Getting Along with People, and this is in the Living the Science of Mind on page 185. It says, the well-adjusted person is one who has been permitted to be an individual, but who has also learned to cooperate with others. Cooperating with others. Do you play well with others? Do you pray well with others? Dr. Holmes writes that our childhood conditioning can get in the way of a healthy outlook on life. And sometimes it can take years of therapy to unravel all of this. And that may be true. You may need to spend some time and talk about some of your inner wounds with somebody. And it's good to do that. Maybe call a practitioner or a minister. And you want to take some things off your consciousness. And I'll tell you that what happens when you unload those things that you've been carrying out of your backpack of hurt and pain, all of a sudden, your step gets a little lighter. You start feeling a little more loving in the world. But the things that we want to come into our life can't come in because the things we don't want are taking their place. Like if you wanted a new wardrobe, but your closet is jam-packed full of clothes, don't say anything. See Chris, my partner, going. Then you got to get rid of some stuff. And actually I did. I got rid of like 4 bags full of stuff, but it's still packed full of stuff because I'm so abundantly provided for. But I have some more purging to do. It's part of life. But you have to be an open flow for the infinite to flow through you. If you are a blocked flow, the infinite will just go to another place where it's flowing and give it there. You have to open your spigot for more love to flow through. Dr. Holmes says that there is another way. Rather than dwelling on the past, we can again look to spirit for the answers. This comes by applying a new thought that today I am born anew. This is what in the Christian tradition they call being born again. They had something there. You can be born again every morning you wake up and go, this is a new day. Whatever happened yesterday happened, and I'm going to let that go. But this is the time. This is a new year. This is a new you. Happy New You. Right? Start over. If you are having a bad day, go back, lay down in bed and get up on the other side and call it a new day and say, I'm doing it different now. And if it still goes wrong, just go back to bed. Because tomorrow is another day. You will always have another chance. But if we stay in the mindset that got us there, we're going to always express what we were. We have to have a new thought. That's what this teaching is all about. That's why this is called New Thought. The principle that knows nothing of precedent. Nothing that happened yesterday has bound us to where we think today. Today is that new day. And today I align my spirit with the highest idea of itself and vow to live from that spiritual perspective. This is why I became a minister, because I was so lazy in my ministry or my spiritual teaching that if I didn't become a minister, I wouldn't do this. But now I got to do this. I got to stay a talk before you guys. I've got to study. So when people call me and say, hey, can you pray with me? I can access that. Now, I'm not always 100% the best. I'll admit that I am divinely interesting, as most of us are. So in conclusion, in this community, we practice singing that universal song of spirit. We practice this each time we gather on Sundays by recognizing our own inner divinity, by seeing through the eyes of positivity and looking at everyone around us as love. And as we begin to see the divine in each other, we are practicing a world that works for everyone. Now, like I said, we're not always 100%. But if we can just get to 51%, the scales will start tipping towards positivity. After service today, I invite you to reach out to someone you may not know and say hello from your heart. Activate your divine curiosity by learning from your new friend of how spirit shows up in the world in their life. Whatever you choose to do next today, begin by interacting with spirit first. Anchor into your spiritual nature and speak from that. That power that is within you knows exactly what to say. Next time you see a crying baby at the store or in an airplane, look at that being as a divine energy doing the best it can in that moment. Don't get ticked off and wish that they would take that baby somewhere else. That's not part of the solution. You're part of the problem. The baby's probably going to cry louder to get you to go deeper. So be part of the solution and just go, you know what? That baby is screaming at the top of its love. Recognize spirit in the eyes of the homeless person on the street. You know, we so want to look away, but we don't have to. If we can just know God in them and just know that they're doing the best they can with what they know and send them love, that's better than any $100 bill. We want to activate the love in each other, and we have to activate it in ourselves first. For when we begin from within, our world opens up in a new and magical way, and we begin to sing the universal voice of spirit. And so it is. So let's follow our teaching and go within and remember who we are. So I invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, or take a soft focus on all the beautiful flowers that we have or the candles. And I invite you to remember that each one of us, individually and collectively, have come from that one source of love. Each one of us is a divine emanation of the power of the infinite to create itself. And here you are. I invite you to think about whatever you're walking through right now that may be a challenge for you. And know that there is a way. What is the solution? If there were a healing happening right now, which there is, what would that look like? What does your life look like that it's working now? You are living on purpose, and you are loved at depth by the energy that created you. Because, my friends, that is truly what is happening right here, right now. The universe loves you so much that it gave you life itself. So let's take that life today and let's share it We don't know who may have cried themselves to sleep last night. But what I know is we give love and we are love in the world. That healing is happening right now. The revealing of truth is happening right now. And for this, we are grateful. Let us bask in the gratefulness of the universe and its ability to love us. How good it is to know. How good it is to know that gratitude is the love of the universe made manifest. So we release this word directly into the living, loving law of God itself, where it is made manifest in our life in an identifiable and loving way. As we affirm this together by saying, so it is. Amen. Well, it's time for our offertory. Would you like to take your gift in your hand and put it on your heart, or just put your hand on your heart? Let's offer or recite our prosperity sharing affirmation together. Today, I give my gift of joy, peace, generosity, and prosperity. And so it is. Thank you, Dave. Let's say a prayer for our offertory this morning, shall we? From the love of pure spirit, these tithes and gifts have been collected. They are evidence of our faith, our belief, and our ability to manifest in this world form. They bless the giver and receiver and allow this Grants Pass Center for Spiritual Living to be open and available to all those who choose to remember who they are, and even those that may not know it yet. And for this community and this world is blessed. And so it is. Okay, it's time for our final song. Dave?
All right, we're gonna close up with the peace song.